Hello, lovelies! Welcome to my sweet and savory kitchen. Today, we're going to make the fluffiest and delicious cinnamon roll with cream cheese glaze. Let's start by making the dough. So I'm pouring some flour in my stand mixer bowl. Onto that, I'm adding sugar and then salt, and then give it a quick mix. Next, for the wet ingredients, I have some warm milk in a cup, and onto that I'll add 1 egg, melted butter, and then yeast, and then mix it well. I'll be using a stand mixer for this recipe, but you can also use your hands. Then pour the wet ingredients onto the dry one. With your dough hook attached, start on a low speed at this point. And when the dough starts to combine, put the mixer on high and let this go for about 2 minutes. You will notice that the dough is very sticky, but don't be tempted to add extra flour because what we need is a nice soft dough. The dough is looking really good, so next I'll transfer it into a greased bowl and cover it for it to double in size. This can take up to 1 to 2 hours. Meanwhile, while our dough is resting, let's make our filling. I have some light brown sugar, very softened butter, and cinnamon powder. Then mix it up well to form a batter. Another method is by spreading the butter on the dough first and then sprinkle the sugar and cinnamon on top. However, I prefer mixing it into a batter so each roll will have equal amount of these ingredients. Set it aside, and then after 2 hours, the dough has risen nicely. Sprinkle some flour on your clean work surface and transfer the dough. Just press it to remove any excess air. And then roll the dough into a rectangular shape. All the ingredients and the measurements for this recipe will be in the description box below as usual. After rolling it out, I just use my dough scraper to straighten the sides so I can get a nice rectangular shape as possible. Next, put the butter on and spread it evenly. You will want to take your time so you can nicely spread it out. If you are new to this channel, you are most welcome. Please subscribe and turn on your notification bell. I upload new recipes every week. Next, start rolling it as tightly as possible. You will want a nice tight roll, so just take your time and roll it. If you feel it's getting loose, just roll it back a bit and then roll it in. This is a big cinnamon roll. Just make sure it's tight. It's nice and tight, so I'll just pinch the edge a bit to seal it. Next, we're going to cut our rolls into equal pieces, so I'll be using a dental floss to cut it. I'll start by cutting off the edges first because it doesn't have much filling. You can also use a knife to cut it, just that it cuts from the top and squishes the slices. So I just prefer using the dental floss or a string. This recipe yields nice cinnamon rolls, but depending on how big or small you want it, you can also get 12. There you have a nice beautiful roll. So this is what I do. I use one of them as a guide and cut the remaining one so that I can have equal sizes as possible. Next, I've buttered and lined my pan with baking paper, so I'll transfer them in. Then cover it and allow it to rise and double in size, and this can take up to 45 minutes to an hour. It doubled in size nicely, and I've preheated my oven to 180 degrees and will be baking for 22 to 25 minutes. So whilst the rolls is in the oven, let's make our cream cheese frosting. I have some melted butter, cream cheese, milk, and some vanilla essence. Then cream it together and make sure there are no lumps. You will want to make sure your cream cheese is really soft at room temperature so that it can incorporate easily. Once it's very smooth, add some powdered sugar. Then continue mixing until it's perfectly smooth. So there you have your nice smooth runny icing that you can easily pour on your rolls. So once your rolls come out of the oven, let it cool down for 5 minutes and then pour your glaze on top. How much glaze depends on you. The smell is just amazing. I'll just top mine with a bit more glaze. It's so soft and fluffy. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, share and leave a comment for me. Bye!